And the goal, I think, for a lot of people what maybe their goal while they were so busy in their normal lives was, I can't wait till I can just not do anything. I can't wait till I can just coast for a little while. And I think if that's our goal, when we get there, it only lasts for a day or two. And then we're bored. We can't coast.
Yeah.
Like we're not supposed to coast. And
No.
we think sometimes maybe that's the goal. And I think the only reason that becomes our goal is because we place ourselves in a position to do a whole bunch of things every single day that we don't like. And then, the only respite from doing things we don't like is just to coast. It's like, but that's not the goal of life. Right. If we're so caught up in these little hamster wheels that we're running, we forget that we can do anything.
Right.
Like if that idea is in your head and it's a little seed of a cool idea, and that's the thing, it's different for everybody. Everybody's seed of happiness, of passion, it doesn't have, it's not going to look the same. So we need to find, I think also we're going to find that there's a lot of codependency that we're going to have to learn how to break. I've been learning that about me personally. Yes. I think there's a lot of people that are codependent on their jobs or their employers or whatever they're doing.
Their patterns,
that they can't, or even their friends and other people around them. Like they can't actually move on one of their ideas unless all their friends say it's a good idea too. Right. It's like there's a lot of codependency that I think hopefully this whole changing of everything will help to break a little bit. And I think people need to become aware of it before they can break it and change. And so hopefully we are the change, like Gandhi said. Be the change.
We are the change
that you want to see in the world. So what do we want this world to be is the real question we got to start asking. And then when we start getting those answers for us, we need to go do those things.
Yeah. I mean, I truly can look back at my history and see that I woke up. I found something that truly mattered. It transformed my well-being, which was going down the tube super fast and was really scary. And as my body healed more and more and recovered more and more, I saw, well, if this happened to me, it's happening to hundreds, if not thousands of other people in my age group probably and older. So this is a service that the world really needs. Now, I thought that within 10 or 20 years of becoming a naturopath, it would be like mainstreamed. It would be just like all infiltrated and everybody. Yeah. I really thought we'd be way further ahead than we are right now. But I learned something shocking about halfway through my career, which was something called the reward punishment style of living. And I realized that most of us actually put up with stuff that we don't like, don't tolerate, doesn't make us happy. And then because we've been doing that, and that's the punishment side of the equation, then we feel like because I got through that, I survived that, I did that, I overcame that or whatever, now I need my reward. And many people have that broken down into every single day is a punishment that I need my reward for. So I realized I really can't, and I realized I cannot live like that. Like that will just, I've gained my health, but if I live like that, it's going to destroy my health. Because the bodies aren't here for reward punishment. The bodies are here to connect and celebrate that we're alive. So I have been training myself for a good, 25, 30 years in living outside of that paradigm, which is more like life is, simply put, life is, and I'm showing up and I'm unfolding life. And I live from my core values and I hang out with people who live from their core values and my friends live from their core values. And I don't really put up with anything I don't like. But I've also learned to like things over time that maybe I didn't like as a 25-year-old. I didn't love breath work when I first started it, Dave. I love it now. I didn't love giving birth to my daughter, but I love my daughter.
Right, absolutely.
So our culture, I think somewhere around the early 1900s, advertising really went into a higher gear, and they had to advertise sugar. I don't know if you knew this, but people weren't buying sugar. It was expensive. There were no other white foods besides milk, so it was kind of like weird. And the sugars they were used to were like molasses, maple syrup, of course, honey, in Mexico, probably some agave syrup. So they weren't used to this crystalline white powdery stuff. That was just like a little too weird for them. So they had to start advertising in the early 1900s about gives you energy and you'll feel great and pictures of women kicking up their heels and all kinds of fun stuff. They had to teach people that you needed to reward yourself. They had to teach people that if you're stressed, you need reward yourself with a cigarette break. You need to reward yourself. Yes. You've worked hard, now reward yourself. So this whole notion, I think, has kind of destroyed a good chunk of our society, because life isn't that at all.
Wow.
Life is basically a gift.
Wow.
And anytime something's occurring as a punishment, it's because we are resisting it actively and not finding the opportunity in it.
We're living in punishment if we choose to. I mean,
correct.
Correct. But that's a choice that we...
It's a mindset.
This episode has been brought to you by CompleteNutra.com. Whole family nutrition.